No, I haven't. I've loaded. I've done nothing. He doesn't get. I haven't even said happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, Bruce.
Fuck off, Bruce. Fuck off, everybody else on the podcast.
Excuse me.
From Mike.
Yeah,
Apart from Mike, who loves me and did say happy birthday.
We've got a little bit of a jealous.
I'll take you fuck off.
We've got a very jealous Alex because it was Alex's birthday this week, and nobody other than me wished him happy birthday. As soon as it was Bruce's birthday today, the top guy that Bruce did, everybody's piling in.
Couldn't stop. But
People who don't message in the group have piled in. Everybody loves Bruce. He's a lovable guy. You, on the other hand, Alex.
Yeah, I know. I completely
I will plead ignorance, Alex. I genuinely didn't realise it was your birthday, so
that's all right.
Sorry.
I don't mind. I had the adoration of Covent Garden instead.
Yes, you got pulled out. That was good. You need to post that on the socials.
I'm not posting that on the socials. I ended up having to stand on a box while some bloke in a kilt was juggling knives, and had to stand there. But I got cheered a lot, which was quite nice.
And sadly, he missed.
He did miss. Yes, there was a point there where he dropped them at me. I was like, I'm still not. There's still a bit of metal you're throwing at me.
Sorry to all the listeners and viewers that that unfortunately didn't work. Our plans were foiled. We'll try next year.
But speaking of knives, we're off to Stoke tomorrow, so second chance.
Speaking of knives,
I was speaking.
Sorry,
is it all gone?
About our cousins from Staffordshire.
All right, mate. I live near Croydon.
You can teach him a thing or two, can't you?
Yeah, that's not a knife.
That's not a knife. Here's my zombie knife.
So you've played knifey spoony before.
What? Coffee. Beer.
Oh, brilliant. David Riley. Congratulations. So I share my birthday with Frank Williams, Spike Milligan, and Charlie Chaplin. David Riley is happy to tell us that Bruce shares his birthday with Hitler. So happy birthday, Bruce.
Explains how he runs his games, doesn't
it? Wrong one, Youngie. Wrong one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm not saying that Bruce's parents planned that deliberately. But
Bloody fatherland.
If we do it today, this will be the ultimate tribute in 9 months' time.
This GTF day will last for 1,000 years.
Whose parents Welsh?
Yes.
No, he's Welsh.
Famously.
Third Reich boyo.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, the only thing
the Third Reich.
The only thing I can offer you is no expertise whatsoever. I have not even seen the goals from yesterday.
You don't need to.
Do I not? Maybe I should do a live viewing of me watching the highlights for the first time and going, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Yeah. If you want to talk about us getting hammered by Ian Holloway's Swindon, then you probably come to the wrong podcast, to be entirely honest. 7 goals to none. What a retort.
To 1.
To 1. Did we score one at this?
We scored. It was during the time you was having a pop at me, so you probably won't remember it.
Oh yeah, that's true. God, imagine what it'd have been like yesterday.
I was glad I wasn't there. and then you rang me up during the game, and I'm like, he's ringing me up just to have a go at me now. It's all my fault.
I hadn't thought of that. That'd have been a cracking idea. What are you picking up for? Watch the game.
He won't have a go at you anymore because you wished him happy birthday. So
yeah,
you're the favourite now.
So Aaron says Alex doing a live watch along would be absolute cinema. I'll be honest, I don't think we'll be back the week after because I've stood next to Alex a lot at games, and some of his reactions probably not best broadcast.
I thought I had dialed it down, and I thought I wasn't as Jason kindly put it, passionate, which is what you say to someone who is you want to keep distance with. But I thought I dialed it down. Maybe I don't have any. I fully expected to get beaten yesterday, and I fully expect to get beaten on Monday.
Where were you at Fulham?
I was not at Fulham. They were not playing. They play on a Saturday. But I'm not. I was not at Fulham. Where was I?
Where's Sam? He's messaging me about the F1. Who's not that busy?
Yeah. Well, some might say that's a that's not a bad thing.
He's doing his town thing and his cricket thing at the minute. Like we're back, we're so back, we're done, we're so done. He's at the we're so done stage with Hamilton now, so that's what he's going through.
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
He's like that with Town as well. So he's probably no good here, to be fair.
There's a diagram. You can follow it round with Sam. It goes from we're brilliant, we're so good. Oh, we're nearly so good. We're crap, we're so crap, and it just goes round in a circle.
Yeah,
he's less so at Town. He's more like that with the cricket.
I'm trying to find out some on this day facts for this day 50 years ago, so we can match him with Bruce. But there doesn't seem to be an awful lot.
What was the weather like? I bet it was thundery.
And there was a string quartet playing the tune from The Omen. And that was Tubular Bells, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, that was.
That's Guildford Cathedral, that is, in that. The worst, most boring cathedral in the world.
Thanks so much for bringing it up.
Does Lloyd agree with that? Because he's the oracle of cathedrals, isn't he?
Well, I'm happy
on cathedrals, is he?
I'm happy to bend the
Someone
knee
ask him
to Lloyd on it. I'm trying to watch the Town highlights, but all it is an advert for L'Oreal.
Well, you don't need that.
Probably better.
It just shouts root, so we're back to the cricket again, I guess. I've moved it. Apologies, I'm going to keep moving this because I've moved it to the other side because I was trying to. One of the reasons for me being late was I was trying to put a camera in, but it wasn't working.
Where are you trying to put the camera?
Well, you get these do your own prostate exam things.
Is everything all right, mate?
Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Cuts inside, nobody's there. More room, 5 of them around one person. Svan Thorson.
Half-fast challenge.
Yeah. And then they come and celebrate in front of us because that's what they do. Yeah, that's fun.
They can.
Quite a few. All right, next one is a free kick outside the police box. Whipped in. Shit saved by Wright. Goal.
Do you know it's amazing you've not progressed to like doing live commentary for Sky or Humberside, isn't it, mate?
That's a terrible one. Can we talk about Jordan Wright's limits? He is distinctly.
Oh, we will talk. We will talk about Jordan Wright's limits.
I'm banned, but I'm just going to say, told you so.
I think we live.
Oh my God! What is that? What is that? Third goal. Is that Doug Tharm putting in a half-ass tackle?
I don't know. I must admit, I'd stopped watching at some point.
Rogers did. Yeah.
So you've got Doug's to begin with, and then the other one. And then, okay, here's Town. Vernon, worried about getting injured. Just Van Thorson.
That was nearly a very good goal. If
Back to Vernon.
It goes over the top.
Oh, it was a good shot, that. Yeah. It could have been 3-1. And then
I started watching the Colchester game at this point.
Did you? That's a nice little pick-up, actually. Completely takes out our midfield, which looks so flat.
This is probably the point you rang me up and absolutely screwed over my setup.
Oh, my God. Did Rogers just nearly put it in his own net? So, basically, Holloway's worked out if you put it across the edge of our box, low, what would you call it? A low block. Get past our low block. They're in.
Just put it in the box.
Oh my God, we are the Clampets, aren't we? Oh, wonderful. Anyway, there you go. So that's my live reaction to it.
Yeah, there you go.
I think three of them were
that'll do a lot.
Three of them were the same goal. I think.
Yeah.
So, how was it otherwise? You both watched it.
Yeah, it was just as dreadful as the highlights suggest. Literally. I don't know about you, Mike. I could literally tell after a minute which way that game was going to go. I think they chased. I think there was. We had a half chance, didn't we? Where Rose kind of after about 30 seconds, where the ball came out to Rose, and he skied it kind of wide, and then off the kind of goal kick, it's it down the other end, and straight away as soon as kind of Jordan Wright got it, they had 3 attackers on him. Straight off the bat, and I was like, "Yep, I know exactly where this game's going." And they didn't give us an inch to pass the ball. They knew full well that if Jordan Wright rolled it out to Farm, that they could stick a man on him, close him down, and not let us play. And that's exactly what happened from pretty much the kickoff. And we never got going. And frankly, we were shite. They were good. I have to give Holloway full credit from a footballing perspective. They were very good. They were very organised. They knew the job, and they knew exactly how to do a job on us. But we were dire bad.
I ain't giving that man any credit. What we learned when he was here, when he had Limbrick, he was fantastic. So I reckon that's all Big Nut and whoever else in the back.
Well,
because he doesn't do that sort of prep. We saw it when Limbrick fucked off. He had nothing when he had to do it himself. So I think well done to the coaching staff. Holloway's obviously still been popping around the training ground trying to exercise ghosts and stuff and making sure he don't walk over Black Cat's pass or something. And they've done something good for a change. So
7 goals though, like we have been dicked by Ian Holloway could almost be held personally accountable for us not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
6 points and
he's like a
minus 6 goal difference.
And the frustrating thing is I could probably, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've been let down this season, but twice of them are against him. And I said this after the away game. You have bad games, of course you do, but you're looking around and not trying anything different. There's no massive challenges going in, trying to change the emphasis of the game or the impetus. And you think you guys know what this means to fight. Like we've stopped talking about Holloway because it shouldn't be about him, but everybody knows there's a grudge there. And you've gone there and got battered. You've let him come here and you've let him dick us at home. And you have bad games, of course you can. You can't get too irate because shit happens. But it's just really frustrating that twice they've done it with him. I didn't see anybody. I don't want to sound like Roy Keane, but just putting one on somebody. Trying to change the emphasis of the game. We can talk about the goals, but as Youngie said, it was maybe a little bit longer for me, but at least in the first 10 minutes, I could see exactly how that game was going to go on. And you get to half time, and you're 2-0 down, you could be more, and you're thinking, well, this isn't going to, we know, we've read this story before, we know what's going to happen. They've come with a way of playing, they've done it really well, and they've really researched it. I said to Alex, it looked like they spent 4 weeks planning for us. It was that sort of level of, this is what you do. You stick a man on Hume, you stick a man on McEachran, and they can't really do much else. But then at half time, we don't change it up. I'm thinking, if you know what the result's going to be, do something different. Go to a flat back four, get your wide men further forward, get your fullbacks wide, and try and exploit the flanks a bit more. Do something a little bit different that they've not set up for. And we didn't. We changed the personnel. We didn't really change the system. We didn't really change how we're playing. And that's a frustrating thing. In games of football, things go your way and things go against you. And there is sometimes a reluctance for us to change what we're doing. And I think David Artell's used the phrase, just do plan A better, and he's used that a lot. Fair enough. It's got him a lot of, done a lot of good this season. I think he needs to remember that this back five, back 3-5-2 is plan B. This wasn't plan A. We came across this. So there's nothing wrong with going on to another plan B. So that's what I was more frustrated about. I don't mind losing. It happens. We've had a good season. We're where we are. Shit happens. What I do mind is drifting through games and not trying, not trying, but not trying something different. That really frustrated me yesterday.
Yeah, and the substitutions was the first substitution, 55 minutes, takes off his 2 most creative players, and it was almost like at 55 minutes he's gone, we've lost this, lads. Let's save you for Monday. And I'm thinking, really? Are we really giving up that easily? And yes, I understand that the squad is threadbare, and I get it that like if McEachran gets injured or Hume gets injured, then we're pretty much stuffed because they're the 2 most creative players. But are we really giving up after with 35 minutes to go at home on a Friday against Swindon when we're chasing a playoff? That's really disappointing if that's the case. And then one of the final substitutions was taking Danny Rose off, where we're literally playing without a striker. And again, I get it. He's thinking, oh well, the game's over. But yeah, that's not a great sign of intent, isn't it? Especially when you've got a packed out home ground. We've been begging them. We've been saying, get down to Blundell Park, fill the park up, and the crowd did turn up. And at the beginning of the game, they were loud. They were loud and they were behind the team. That first minute, the whole stadium was singing Dave Artell's Black and White Army, and they got behind the team. And it's really disappointing that we just never gave it a go.
I said after Harrogate, didn't I, that 2-0 is one of these funny scores. You cruise in, and then all of a sudden, the other team scores something out of nothing, and all of a sudden it's game back on. And you've got to come back from being in a position of cruising the game to being right back on it. And that's why I was frustrated after half time. If you come out, do something new, they're caught off guard, right? And it's 2-1, bang, completely different game. Crowds start getting involved. They start getting nervy, starts being a little bit extra on the line because it's Holloway. And then the whole momentum changes. So just to carry on doing what we'd done in the second half just really frustrated me. If there was a time through the entire season for changing 2 or 3 players, it was probably maybe Doncaster, but probably today is probably one of them that I'd put up there. You don't always want to do it because it just changes for change's sake. You want to see if it helps. But we could all see every person in Blundell Park could see how that second half was going to go, and that's what happened.
Do you want to do the theme tune?
Should we start at some point?
Mike messaged me. I was like, "Oh yeah, we haven't done the theme tune," and then proceeded to talk for 25 minutes.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more in my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good goal. You can't make it straight like that.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome welcome all to the moaning session. Grimsby Town get larruped by the moron from down the road. Fully took us apart. It is 1 point from the 2 easiest games we've probably got till now in the end of the season. And Colchester have overtaken us. But there are rays of hope. Only one team won in the top 12, as Youngie said on the old social medias. We are on the same amount of points as Colchester going into the next 3-4 games of the season. We've just got the league leaders to take on away from home tomorrow. Then it's Milton Keynes, and then it's also then Wimbledon, the real Dons, who are also chasing a playoff place as well. Now, I'm hoping Wimbledon will have had it sewn up. They won't have any other they know they'll be in the playoffs, and they'll just rest people on that final game of the season. God knows. But not clutching at straws just yet. But we want to hear from you, our people, our other team, the list of injuries we've had, the limited players we've got who are performing probably at their very top of their ability. Looking at Rodgers, looking at Green. Are they finally starting to crack under the pressure, both physically and mentally? Are we doomed to stay here? And if we aren't going to get into the playoffs, is that a bad thing? I'd love to hear from everybody out there. Mike is keen to talk. Mike, no, you're on the line.
Hello. Yes. Hi. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Great to speak to you. No, I just wanted to sort of build on what we were saying before we decided to actually start the show. The first 2 goals are so soft on Saturday. I care less about the third and fourth because your team's pushing up. You're trying to overcommit, so I care less about those. But the first one, in the first 10 minutes, we've got McEachran gets pulled into the left back area. Corey's come all the way across, so there's no midfield. Ball's played into the middle. Free as you like to have a shot, and then Svan Sorsen with the half-arsest of blocks I've ever seen. It's like just dangling a leg for the sake of it. Now, what you want from there is you want to play diving in, putting everything on the line to block that shot. Easily preventable, that. And then all of a sudden, 7 minutes into the game, everybody sat back, oh dear, all the momentum's gone. Because before then, I thought the crowd were good. I thought there was a few challenges that had gone in. I thought first 5 minutes, I'm thinking, you know what, we look a bit up for this, and then that's all gone. And then the second one is this. Just that. Yes, Alex.
Before you move on, and I know me and you do clash occasionally. Sometimes it's for entertainment. I am very reticent to say that was the worst half-assed tackle you have ever seen, considering you have the opposition manager on the bench, and we've all had Hope, Haywood, Linwood. Okay. I thought Svan Thorson did as well as he could with that. He was marking 2 people because for some reason I'm looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players around 4 Swindon players. The baller manages to get out to him. He makes up to it as best he can, but the guy gets to the ball first and he puts his leg out. I'm not sure what else he's meant to. I don't know what else he's meant to do there.
Okay, by this season standards, and in fairness, yeah, I have seen some shit. So by this season standards, let's go by that. And as I've said, yeah, he's marking a couple of plays. He's in the wrong position because people have got pulled out. But oh my God, here's Bruce. But honestly, watching that back, it just feels to me and looks to me like he's dangled his leg there. He's not thrown himself at it, you know. And he's a wide player. He's defending at the edge of his box. Maybe he's not used to that, but. You know, it's a time I just want to see somebody charging and chucking everything in front of it because I think it went underneath his foot. I'd have to go back and watch, but I think it's gone underneath his foot. So he got there. It might be just his style. It just looked half-assed.
The only problem is, I think if he goes in like you want him to, I'm imagining John Welsh on a poor woman in a bus stop, by the way you're describing it. And,
you take the piss out of Bruce now he's here. I'll go and watch it and I'll tell you if I think I'm wrong now.
No, that's fine. You can have a look. I don't know what else he's meant to do. And I think if he goes in bull and bluster, it's a penalty. Bruce, apparently it's your birthday. Like everybody cares.
I thought you might have finished talking about the game by now. That's why I came in for a bit.
We haven't even done the 10 minutes of patter either.
Exactly. I thought that's what I was just listening to.
I'm just trying to watch this thing. I think the fact that they get away from 4 of them. Yeah, he's by the time Svan Thorson arrives, he's already made contact, in my opinion. Oh, Bruce, we found out you share your birthday with Hitler, so happy birthday.
Yeah, I do. Adolf Hitler, yeah, me and Hitler and Alan Buckley.
The 3 greats. That's a midfield trio, isn't it?
I tell you what, it'd be an organised side, wouldn't it? Them 3 on the coaching staff.
I'd be the pivot.
Bruce, I've only got one thing. I've only got one thing to ask you.
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
$50 now.
Oh dear.
That number on them cards. I feel like I'm dead already. That number on them cards. But yeah, it looks. Yeah. Can we not talk about it?
You say about it being...
you know how we all respect each other's feelings and stuff on here. Well, and you know that I'm one of the most sympathetic members of the pod. So can we just mention my birthday, but please not mention the numbers anymore?
So let me have a look.
You said about that being an organised midfield. You've got Buckley and Fenners holding well and holding in position, and you turn around, the other blokes invaded Poland.
That's too. He's been given too much of a free roll there, hasn't he?
He'd be offside all the time. He'd be offside all the time, wouldn't he? In the other team's half.
I tell you what, though, the team bus would always be on time, wouldn't it?
It would be efficient, Youngie. It would be. We would be ruthlessly efficient. Yes.
So, Bruce, on the 20th of April, 1975, "Bye Bye Baby" by Bay City Rollers was number 1.
Oh, that's good. It's good number 1.
Another Somebody Wrong song by BJ Thomas. I don't know what that is. "You Are the Chinese Zodiac Sign of the Rabbit."
Rampant.
So Charlie Chaplin was no, that doesn't happen. No. "You Are Older, You Are Slightly Younger, sorry, than Microsoft. And you were born 10 days before the fall of Saigon."
Is that what they made the film about? Miss Saigon?
One of the things, yes. Major events. What else happened? The Vietnam War. US begin to evacuate its citizens from Saigon. Yeah, so it's the last helicopter out. There's nothing else. Nothing else.
It's a pretty I used to have a video years ago that my parents bought me of like what happened in the year you were born. I think I watched it once and it was shit, so I didn't watch it again. But I've just been to the new Turkish place, Youngie, on the corner, on the corner of the High Street.
Oh yeah, what was your thought?
Oh, it was very nice, very nice. Staff were very friendly. There was a nice atmosphere in there. It was. I mean, everyone seems to go. It's never dead, is it? You go past there at 3:00 on a Tuesday afternoon, and there's people in there. But
yeah, we went on Mother's Day. It's beautiful. Yeah, the meat's very well cooked. Very, very nice.
It was very nice. Yes, Michael.
Can I bring it back?
To what?
Talking about Turkish, this Van Sorsen thing. I'm not letting this go, Alex. He's not marking any fucker, and he got there before he hit it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what other position someone needs to be covering that area. I just think the blame is the ball got away from 7 people in one area, and then you're leaving one bloke to mark a square area of about 30 yards with 2 other players into it. He gets to the ball second, and the other guy gets to it. Now, hey, if it's Rodgers or if it's Starm, I expect that to be cleared, but I'm not expecting it of, the winger.
So it's either possible or it's not.
It's not possible because he's quicker than them anyway.
It is possible for a centre half.
Yeah, because the centre half should be better positionally. I agree that he's in the middle of nowhere, but I'm not 100% sure what else he's meant to do.
Nowhere, because
I think we're making too much of this because we've got Jordan Wright spooning it into the lap of the gods.
But I'm telling you, he can make that, and he needs to do better.
Yeah, I think
wouldn't have happened under Hitler.
No, it wouldn't. No, Sven Thorson would have arrived on time.
That blonde-haired, blue-eyed winger. That blonde-haired, blue-eyed right winger.
He'd be the only one left on the field.
We'd always win, though, wouldn't we? When we've been shit and like we were on Friday, and do you actually watch it back again and watch the highlights?
No, but Alex, before you came on, Alex said I was wrong, so I went to watch the highlights.
I couldn't think of anything worse than watching the highlights again. It's a trade description problem, isn't it? When they call it highlights, really. But
I assume the people of Swindon enjoyed it.
Well, they had a lovely day out. There's 300 of them, didn't they?
Did they get thanked for coming? As the 4th went in, please tell me they got thanked.
Let's stop, Bruce. Stop for a second. Let's play. What time did Bruce walk out of the ground? So we've all got a prediction in. So I am going to go for spin it.
I am going with Bruce didn't even leave the bar after the start of the second half, if that counts. Okay. What about you, Youngie?
I'm going to go for he came back short. He came back for a brief period, but when the 3rd went in, he immediately went, Maisie were going and immediately left the ground. Mike.
76th minute, although I do remember him saying occasionally he doesn't leave early. He likes to stand there and show his disapproval. So I can quite imagine him standing there in the lower, just looking at them in a tone of voice.
No, I've never done that. I don't show disapproval. I would rather leave the ground than boo them and watch the little corner. I mean, to be fair, they brought a decent number, 300 odd, and they made a good racket because they had a great, lovely day out.
It's almost half of what we took.
So Gavin Martin says 66. Josh says 69th minute.
Well, Gavin says 67th minute.
We got the early bus.
Your eyes aren't on.
We got the early bus to avoid the rush, but I don't think there was a rush because the crowd left very gradually from about whenever that second goal, the 3rd goal went in. I think we left on about 85 minutes.
Respectable.
To get the early bus. It was 3-0 when we left, and we were halfway home when Maisie said, "Oh look, it's 4 now." The old theory that when we get a decent crowd in, we don't show up. Rumbles on, doesn't it? And
so someone showed that there's been 27 games between now and the 1990.
That was me.
That was it, yeah. And we've won, what was it, 7 of them. or 9 of them.
But I did. You've got to bear in mind though that somebody was saying about the results aren't very good, but usually a good crowd comes against a good team with a big following and a Forest, Chelsea.
Yeah, but 2 of them were against West Ham and Tottenham, and we won those 2. So that's nearly 25% of the games we'd won.
I'd imagine also over recent history, especially in the Football League, a lot of the times we've got those crowds is we're fighting relegation. So we're a shit team anyway, and the crowds come to try and...
We've never actually pulled 8,000. I did the crowds over 8,000 since we went all-seater in 95. And I think, like Alex says, there were 20. I think there were 28 actually, because I missed out the Burnley game with the Kanoko Caps in the end, and that was that was actually in the top 4 or 5. That was 9,000. I don't know, 200.
We had the seats, didn't we? We had the green seats as well.
I think Chelsea was the top, wasn't it? 9,500, but that's with the temporary seats again. So yeah, but it used to be a thing. It was a thing even in the 90s. Oh, we've got Wolves at home. We've got 6,500. Oh, we got beat. We were shit. It's a thing that people will churn out, but it's hard to disagree with. But
Wimbledon,
these kids weren't born in the when we were watching the Buckley side. So they can't know about it.
So are you asking the people of Grimsby? Are we saying stay away? If we can organise ourselves, so you'll get on your season ticket, you'll get a number. You're either number 1 or number 2. Number 1, you're only allowed in for the first half. Then you have to leave with Bruce and Maisie. And then in the second, if you got number 2, you go in for the second half. So we always keep it at 2,500 in the ground, and then the couple of 100 away fans. Do you think that's our route to success?
People do say,
or should we play at Scunny? Tiny little ground.
People do say, don't they, that the atmosphere was better when there were just 3,500 of us, and it's hard to disagree. It's hard to disagree with.
No, it's not.
The atmosphere these days, just in general at home. I mean, I'm not going to. It's not great. I don't think people. Are you growing up with a generation of young fans that just sit there and watch the game? Maisie doesn't sing. Round us. There's some round us that they'll moan, but they don't sing. But anyway, that's by the by.
I see this. What do you want to call it? The curse stuff about us not performing when we have big crowds, but it's different manager. No, they say, "Oh, we never." It was Holloway there, wasn't it? But
but do you imagine that? Before you do that, Mike, all I've got is Bruce is leaving the ground, and he finds the 4th goal's gone in, followed by Andy Woodman giving him shit on Twitter.
And then as I pass the corner, there's Ian Holloway's missus having a piss in the corner to try and get rid of the curse.
Right up against his mate's caravan.
Splatters up my leg or something.
I've seen a lot of it this week about we never do well when we've got big crowds, but it's different manager, different staff, different players.
That's what I just said.
We're the same though. We're the same. We can all feel it. We're all walking in going, oh, couldn't even park in my normal fucking space because some bloody tourist is coming with their iPhone to film a corner. Am I helping?
Yeah, great. But yeah, it was.
Sorry, birthday boy.
Have you had a nice pod thus far? Has it been cheerful? Are people still positive, or are we not going to pick up another point for the rest of the season?
Are you coming tomorrow, Bruce?
What's the vibe? No, I've sacked it off because we lost on Friday.
Oh, come on, Bruce.
Come on. I've got the flag, and Youngie's going to get money off me.
He's going to get money off you.
Shall I take the keeper's shape flag? Just to confuse people.
It was going really well, Bruce, until you turned up. Not your fault, but now it's completely derailed. I don't know where the hell we are now.
Yeah, but Bruce.
I'll go in a minute. I'll go in a minute.
No, don't leave us.
See,
I miss your face.
You're criticising him now. It's his birthday. He's got that.
You can do that, Mike. I'm 50 now. I'll forget that you took the piss out of me in 10 minutes.
Who are you?
Did you get your bus pass today?
No.
When do you get that?
They keep putting the age up. It's like town season tickets for pensioners.
Bruce, I'll get my Ancient Mariners season ticket next year now.
I do think actually though, I think my now I'm getting 50 and there's a little bit of grey creeping into what's left of the hair. I think that I'm going to struggle to keep my student pretense away from home.
Yeah, but now you move to OAP, don't you?
Oh, I did get Maisie in for a quid at Crew though.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
You're not trying your OAP lot yet?
I thought it might look a bit wrong if I tried to get an under 14 in with me as an OAP. Yeah,
get Macy to go. Thanks, Grandad, for taking me. Dad won't take me.
He got caught in morning.
But she did say to me, "How old is she?" So I went, "How old are you?" And she said, 11, Dad.
She didn't get
the
reference.
She watches the show then at Crew, does she?
She got him for £1. No, the woman at Crew doesn't. No, Maisie does.
David wants to know: does anyone have any superstitions or set routines for home games?
Me and Alex don't go.
Well, when I used to be a season ticket holder, yeah, send it to America because it's got the fastest. No, the States is better on NordVPN now. It's quicker. You don't get any buffering. But when I used to be a season ticket holder, I used to have a 2 cheeseburger meal. You used to get 2 cheeseburgers in a meal. There you go. That used to be my little setup. I didn't go for fish and chips.
Yeah, I used to go to the same chippy. I used to get the same time bus. I used to have 2 pints in the Bloodwood Park Hotel, 1 in the Imp, and then into the ground every week.
Not for me. Workers screwed up superstitions. I'm more in a rush to try and get a parking spot and a fish cake bun. Fish cake bun is probably my only thing of regularity, really. But other than that, no lucky pants, no kind of like going to the toilet at a certain time. None of that malarkey.
Joshua asks, if Jason becomes mayor, will Andrew be able to keep the club running on his own? He's going to still be running the club, Josh.
Yeah.
Our former illustrious leader used to be the deputy head of the council, and he kept it going and met some very interesting business partners along the way. So it might
I'm not sure that's a great. You're giving a great example there, Alex, of how the club's going to continue.
As much as personally, I hope he does win, but that's just my personal opinion. I think it's going to be very tough, so I don't think it's something we would have to worry about. I mean, hopefully, I don't think it'd have any effects at all. It'd be less public facing if he won, but I don't think it'd have any effects at all, really. I know he's stepped back now while he's running because he's running for something, but I wouldn't think it'd have any bearing.
If you're losing an election like that, do they think what a waste of money at you while you're up there on the rostrum getting your results?
No, but people do leave after 80 minutes and get the bus home.
Yeah, well, when they read out the whoever Tory or Reform or whoever you think's going to beat them, and then it's like, well, actually, I can't match that now. It's like it's like Hartlepool 8, and you're like, oh shit, right? Yeah, I'm off. We're not scoring 9.
Thank you for coming, Labour.
Reform singing "Is there a fire drill?" to Jason. Jason, he sneaks out of the side.
Because if there is a fire safety check, we're getting rid of it.
I see Reform did a little shithouse move, didn't they? And Andrea Jenkins turned up at Blundell Park on Friday outside the ground, drilling up support. Oh, that's sneaky, that one.
Yeah,
it's a free country. Free country.
But she maybe knows that Jason's at Scunthorpe.
Yeah, I don't approve of that.
It's like she knows that he's out. It's like a burglar sneaking in your back through your open window because they've seen the car go out the front.
Well, he was there yesterday.
No, I know. I'm joking. Yeah, all right, okay.
Oh, don't be coming on here telling jokes, Bruce. He's got to give us warning.
He's getting his Labour prickles up here.
Yeah, the trip to Scunthorpe's gone down like a lead balloon on it with some sections of the sport.
It's just amazing. It's people like that make me laugh. It's like there was a genuine thinker. I've never been to Hull. I wouldn't go to Hull. So, well, it's a pretty big city and it's got a Nando's. So why would you not go and watch a music vent there and then come back. I'd never go to Leeds. It's an hour and a half up the road. It's a pretty big city. There's stuff to do.
Yeah, but I know all clubs are the same, but you look at some parts of the fan base, don't you? And you're just like, really? You know, the guy, do they expect him, like at night to be sort of, to be with the scissors out, cutting what's left of the grass on the pitch, when everyone's gone home because he doesn't do anything else?
What do you mean you went to Scunny for the Toys R Us? Yeah, turncoat, you scab.
I had to draw the line at him getting a Scunny till I die tattoo on his arm, though. I thought
that's fair. Yeah.
But for all we know, though, he's put a dead fish in the, behind one of the displays in the club shop or something, hasn't he? Or he might have gone under the the pretense of being there for the steelworkers and solidarity and all that, but he might have actually left a little present from the people of Grimsby and Cleethorpes for them.
Did I tell you that I wrote something? I built the Scunny Doncaster community stand.
You built it.
Yeah, I built it.
Oh, I thought you meant the stand. I was
no, the sign that goes. The sign that goes up at the top, and it does say something about. It did say something about Grimsby Town. Pride of Lincolnshire underneath the writing.
Can we talk about Jordan Wright yet?
Okay, right.
40 minutes.
Go on then. So Jordan Wright, who I will. I think he's fine. But I think if you are looking to get promoted and be one of the better teams in the league, which we will be trying to do this year or next year, or in League One, he is not good enough. He makes occasionally good saves. He's made some pretty cracking ones this year, but we've had lots of keepers. Maka was exactly the same. He can pull up, but communication, distribution, and the way he commands his area, and he likes to do that little double catch that when I'm being shit at cricket, I do as well, where you kind of get it and then get it. And that, though 99 times out of 100 it's fine, there will be one time when it doesn't. So yes, we need somebody better. I don't know how long he's on contract for. I should check on the COD Almighty website. But neither him or Reese would fill me with much confidence. Yes, go, Mike.
Doctor. Oh, as I say, he's got 3 years, I think. Right. Fuck. So he's still got 2 years left on his deal. Yeah. Eastwood's contract runs out in the summer. I'd be, if that wasn't the case, the roles were reversed, I certainly would be thinking that Eastwood maybe needs to even start tomorrow. If I'm not sure that he fills the defence with that much confidence, right? And let's forget, Eastwood was the first choice before he got injured, so it wouldn't be a big
first place, wouldn't he?
Yeah. So like, would it really be a big move to put Eastwood in tomorrow for a big game? I'm not
as long as he's ready, I would absolutely happily do it.
It's a big call, isn't it, Douglas? It's not like it's a midfielder that you're bringing out of the team for a rest. It's a big call, but that's why managers pay big money to be managers. They've got to make big calls. I mean, I've had my say on him, and I am reluctant to go in hard on him again, because I think we do lose fact to the sight that although he's been at League One, he hasn't played a lot of Football League games. He looks incredibly nervous. And just lacks confidence.
All of which you love in a goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, but that's the point. But I am a bit reticent, because we've seen players do this in their first season, then come back and be absolute, worldies in the second season. And I always refer to Rob Jones. If Rob Jones came and was so bad the first season and was incredible the second season. So I'm a little bit reluctant. If he has the confidence, does he turn into a really good goalkeeper? There must be something about him, but definitely at the minute, his errors and nervousness is not made up with a few penalty saves. I think you can see when he's got the ball at feet that he's not confident, and then you're playing the ball into the middle of the park and people aren't confident around him, and then when he goes long, it just goes to nowhere, and you're just losing possession again. So I don't know. I think
do you think we should start getting Kieran Green to take the goal kicks?
Well, they do. The centre backs do take the goal kicks a fair bit, but the reason's that in there. But I think you. I think you're on the verge of having to make a call. I think it's becoming an issue. That second goal, that it's not like, was it Accrington away where it went through a crowd and half of us said it was shit and half of us said, oh, well, it came through a crowd. It's just parried it up into the air for somebody to score a second goal. That's just basic 101 as a goalkeeper. If you cannot do that consistently, then you may as well go home. But the lad looks shot of confidence, and it is a really difficult position to play when you're shot of confidence. It's not like you're a right back and, your winger's going to come back and help you and cover up, or your centre-back's going to come across and get you out of trouble. You fuck up, that's it. We saw McEachran make a few really bad passes. Actually, Svan Sorsen, sorry. And then McEachran come back and get him out of trouble in the first half when they nearly scored another goal. If you do that as a goalkeeper, that's it. There's no room for it. So I do have a lot of sympathy for him, but I think it's getting to the time you need to be making a call.
I think he's absolutely right for what the team was meant to be this season.
100%.
Which was a club fighting for upper middle class, mid-table, sort of 12th, 11th sort of team. I think he's absolutely fine for that, but we've accelerated past it. Jake Eastwood, get him gone, and I wouldn't mind Wright as an understudy to whoever we've got. It's just whether or not if he's on big wages or not. But Lincoln fans appreciated him, but they don't really understand football, really. So I can't respect their opinion much. Yes, Youngie.
Firstly, Bruce has just announced on the WhatsApp that he's leaving us. So
what, forever?
He just said forever.
The fact he left was a bit of a giveaway, Youngie. I didn't have to wait for him to drop it on the WhatsApp.
I thought he might come back, but he's not coming back. So we'll say happy birthday, Bruce, one more time. And if we ever see him again, wonderful. I'd like to see him tomorrow, but I'm not sure we will. I think going back to Jordan Wright again. Sorry, Bruce. That you said about Lincoln fans had confidence in him, but he never played that much for Lincoln.
Yeah, true.
I think he was a decent understudy, and I think he did it okay in a few games for him. He's not the worst keeper I've ever seen us play for us. By even last season, I thought he was better than Cartwright.
He is. Yep.
And he's been better than a few keepers we've had over the last few years, but. You're right, Mike. He just doesn't inspire confidence, does he? I think that's the main thing. It's especially in a team that is so heavily reliant on starting play from the back. His distribution is pretty dreadful, and we've been saying it all along. And now you see mistakes from the other side of it as well. That it's a concerning start.
He's sorry, Alex.
That's all right. You go. It's your passion piece. And shitting on Sam Thorson for not being the Doug Tharm of town.
No, and I know he really annoyed me the other week, but I am, as I say before, I'm really reluctant to do it for a goalkeeper because, as we said, it's that position. But he is now 26. I know I said he was a young goalkeeper earlier. I've just looked it up. He's 26. Now I know that's younger in goalkeeping standards, but it's not a young lad like Cartwright or something like that. So he should be starting to make an impression in his footballing career now. And just going back to what you're saying about next year, I'd imagine he must be on a fair whack. But, we've gone for 2 first-choice keepers or 2 keepers that easily could be first choice. For a lot of the Hurst years, we went for McEwen and a young lad, and that was it. We saved the money. Now we seem to have 2 first-team keepers that I think if you're not playing if you're not going to play Eastwood now, why keep him? Why have you got him? Because Wright has not impressed himself, has been a problem for a couple of the goals, does not look comfortable. If you're paying for a first-team goalkeeper to sit on the bench, it's an incredible waste of money if you're not going to play him. If you had a young lad on the bench, fair enough, I'd understand it. But you haven't. You've got a goalkeeper who's played in the Football League, probably played more games than Wright, arguably looks more comfortable. It is not by any stretch of the imagination fantastic, but neither of them are either the worst keepers I've ever seen. If you look back to when we was in the Football League last time, before James McEwen, we had some right crap. So I won't put him on a par with there, but he definitely looks shot of confidence and hope. I'd take him out, put Eastwood in. Eastwood's going in the summer, unless you offer him a contract. I don't think we will. Jordan Wright, then let him get some confidence in the summer. See if he comes back better next season, because at the minute he looks absolutely shot. And I'm wondering, the more you keep him there, how much damage does it do to him? Because you can now see it. I can see the worry when he's got the ball now.
Maybe I'm I think he made mistakes, and I think I'd like to change it, but I'm not that worried. I'm looking at next season. I don't think he made an error yesterday, and his kicking his distribution isn't brilliant, but I don't necessarily think it's as bad as we're making it out to be. I would prefer to see Eastwood in, but if he plays on tomorrow, then I'm sure he'll be fine. But
he's played in enough games where we've got results, hasn't he, this season? So you're right, Alex. I think perhaps that Friday is still very raw, and I feel that this last hour we've been pretty down, haven't we? And we've kind of maybe lost sight in this conversation of how well we have done this season, and Wright has contributed to part of that as well. So we've got to put that out there, haven't we? But yeah, there is. I do think him and the defence. The proof's in the goals conceded category, isn't it? We are the third worst team in the league for goals conceded. Yet we sit 8th or 9th in the league or whatever it is. It's crazy. So the defence and the goalkeeper is probably something that in the summer will need addressing.
And it's one of the things we've had conversations with, isn't it? Where we've been talking about if we make the playoffs or not. If we don't, my thought process that we've been all having in our little WhatsApp groups is it's not the end of the world. If anything, it might be better for us. We've seen this season with teams that have gone up maybe too early. You're looking at Crawley, Stevenage, and who else went up, where they've been hammered. And I don't think we've got a team banging on the door of League One at the moment. We've got a team that are surprising everybody in League Two, including ourselves. And I think we may well have more. Would need to have changes that will probably be above and beyond what we are capable of to be able to make a fist of it in League One, as in surviving comfortably. And I think the team has been performing so well that when players are making continual mistakes, but still performing at a 6 or a 7 out of 10, like Wright, I would say Wright is doing, they do stand out because they're the only ones you can really point a finger at, because you can go back to Svan Thorsson's incident where Mike says that he doesn't get there, and he doesn't get there, but that's not what he should be. His performances should be necessarily counted on. There are players that are. I think it is a lack of leadership. I think it's a lack of a lack of fitness. I think players are starting to feel it. I think they're starting to feel playing a heavy burden. A lot of teams that Youngie's already picked out. And I think there is a lack of leadership on that pitch. The biggest things we can do next season are obviously to replace Donovan, Wilson and Pike with players that can play, as in actually get on the pitch. But the biggest thing that we need to do is look for a leader. And it's very easy for me to say, go find the next Craig Disley, go find the next Paul Groves. And I'm picking those two out because they're the two leaders that we've had. I mean, for fuck's sake, Lee Peacock is probably the third person that comes to mind in terms of leadership there. And that says how crap it is. But you are looking for a leader on that pitch because Corey, McEachran and Green are fantastic midfield three. I don't think there's a leader in there capable of galvanizing a team. And it's one of the reasons maybe that when we do get beaten, but as an Artel team, we can get beaten quite badly. And I think the like of a Diz or a Groves on the pitch yesterday would have at least allowed us not to have been as hammered badly.
I agree. I think it comes down to more. There's players on there that are young players and are inexperienced, who I would think in 3 or 4 years' time would fill that role. I think McEachran in a couple of years, Corey in a couple of years would really fill those sorts of roles. But they're inexperienced in terms of the amount of times they've played. And just to finish on with what I was saying about Wright first, it's maybe unfair because we're judging them from the standards of where we are now. Now, so he hasn't been terrible. There's just these things that worry me with him. So, but I hope he comes back stronger next year. He's even better. But we would all think, and I think it's fair to say that this is a team that we expected to be transitioning, and that's what we've got. We've got a team that is moving from being a really crap team to trying to be a really good one, and we're ahead of schedule. But that also brings in, we're behind with things like maybe a bit of experience in there. Curtis Thompson's legs may be going. He's the sort of player last year that you'd have in there. He's had a few injuries and fallen off it, where we may be relying on having a bit more of him this season. You've had so many injuries that You know, you're asking players to go again and again and again and again. And you hear about Premier League players moaning about it all the time. Like, we play more games than they do on heavier pitches with less help, less nutrition, less muscles and all these things. And our lads aren't complaining about it. They're just getting on with it. And that does start. So after you've played like McJanet nearly 70 games since he's last had a break, and a couple of players like that, it really starts to must start to get you. And I think that's what we see at times. These are a really good set of players that have really shone well above where we'd expect to be. And I'm bloody proud of every single one of them. But maybe we just need to remember that that's where we are, and that's why we have these deficiencies. If we was finishing 12th and not really flirted with the playoffs, we'd probably be saying this is exactly where we go next. So hopefully next season we can keep hold of some of those players and bring others in. And as you're saying about if we go up, I mean, I would agree with you. I would probably always take worrying about that when we got there. I don't think from my history supporting Town, I would have thought we could have built on it in Slade's season, and then look what happened over the next few years. So I'd never turn it down, but I think you're right in what you say about there would need to be a big turnaround in the summer in terms of competing in League One, but better get there and worry about it then. What I would say is about hanging on to players though in the summer, and you're saying maybe we've got a few that could do it in League One, you McEquins, McJaniks, etc. I do hope that Conte is held up as an example by the club to some of these players who went probably a little bit early, not to a massive club in the league above, and now very well might end up back in League Two next year. It's not always greener. Being at a club that does things the right way, looks after you, is progressive, and will let you develop with one of the best managers in terms of growing players, is probably better than taking a few extra quid at a team at the bottom end of League One next season. So I hope we hold Conte up to everybody in that dressing room in the summer.
Thanks, Mike. So moving on to Port Vale tomorrow. Carlisle were defeated Port Vale yesterday. There are crumbs of optimism going into a game at the league leaders. Obviously, putting one of our best performances this season, 3-0 win against them, our best win at home this season against them. We can get at them, and we've got an opportunity to, and it would be exceptionally Town to get beaten by a very mid-table team in Swindon 4-0 and then go and beat the league leaders. And then it's all back on, and we're back on the Sam Barrack cycle of destruction, and back to it's so back on looking at a game at MK Dons and going that way. Over 1,000 going already. We're going to be at 1,500. I imagine that place can make a noise. I'm bringing the flag. It's 3 hours away, so my dedication is in, and then I've got MK Dons as well, and maybe Wimbledon if the wife approves. Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a proper game tomorrow, isn't it? Like, apparently, it's going to be over 10,000 in the home end as well tomorrow. It's
do they have the same cash?
Exactly. This is reverse now. So it feels like a proper game. But the more actually, you know, I see a few people going, "Oh, well, if we don't win tomorrow, that's it. It's all over." Well, actually, it's really not. And if you look
no one's taking it.
There's only one bad case scenario, and that's if we lose and Colchester win. Really, I said if Colchester draw, we lose, it's a point. If we both match each other's result, it was still on the same points with 2 games to go. So actually, this is a bit of a free hit tomorrow. There's not that much pressure on us. The pressure is on them. They desperately need the points if they want automatic. There are 4 or 5 teams that can still get in them top 3 places. So if we can go in there like we did at Walsall, like we did at Gillingham, like we did at Donny, like we did at Wimbledon, and just be able to settle into the game and be able to nick something, and suddenly the pressure is on them and the crowd are getting a bit itchy, there could be a game to be won there. So there's no pressure on us tomorrow. If the worst happens, the worst happens, but we'll still be in with a chance by the end of the 90 minutes, whatever the result is tomorrow. So you know what? It's a free hit. We've got a lot of people. We've got a big away crowd. There's going to be a big home game, big atmosphere. Let's just enjoy it and just see if we can pinch something. And unlike Friday, where all the pressure is on us, it's the complete opposite. So let's enjoy it and have a go.
I'm looking at Colchester as well. They've got Donny tomorrow, who are desperate for the points. Salford won't feel they're out of it yet because no one wants to take a handle on the playoffs. And then they've got Barrow, which is never an easy game, whatever happens on the last game. So I would prefer our running, believe it or not, because MK Dons looks a better opportunity. And I'm kind of hoping AFC Wimbledon have wrapped it up by then and they know they're going to be in the playoffs. Mike.
It's got, I can sort of imagine a 1-0 win with Jordan Wright scoring from a goal kick or something tomorrow. I'd love that. You can tell how much nobody wants it in this division. The fact if we'd held on for the 3 points against Harrogate and won on Saturday, we'd be in the automatic promotion race. That's just two games there, and we'd be talking about can we go up automatically. So that's how much nobody's kicked on. And yesterday or on Saturday, one team in the top 12 won. So if it doesn't go our way on Monday, there's still 6 more points to go. And I completely back us to go there with absolutely no pressure on us. Dig in, come up with one of those proper David Artell Grimsby Town of 2025 away performances and proper do a job. There's no reason we can't. We're 8th in the league. This team, Port Vale, are in the top 3. They've been around where we've been all season. They're a tiny bit better than us, maybe. But it's not we're going away to a championship team. Just turn up there, do your things well, pass to your players, keep your shape, turn into Hurst, and we could win. They've got a massive crowd there.
I'll be honest, Mike, you are not doing me any confidence here going, they're a little bit better than us. We might win.
But what I'm saying is it's not a massive, we're not going against fucking prime Barcelona. We're going against Port Vale, who we stuffed at home and couldn't beat Carlisle.
I'm going to send that to the Vale podcast to clip up.
Let's just here we go. Fucking Tuesday. That's it. That's it. But, calm down. Whoa, hold up. It's not Barcelona. It's Port Vale away. Difficult game. Completely winnable. Especially with this.
I can see that on a remix because there's a guy at Port Vale that does some very good videos.
And
great.
I can imagine we're going to win.
Prime Barcelona as he cuts in the 5th being rolled in.
No, but I see on social media people going around like we're playing fucking Barcelona. They're a good team. They're better than us at the minute. Look at the table. But we can beat them. We've beaten them already. They didn't beat Carlisle. So tough game. Go there, do your job well, and we can completely take 3 points from it. I don't understand why people are so.
Be as positive as Aaron, who's saying time to get the goal difference up after we just lost 4-0. It's -5, Aaron. It's gone. I'll be honest. I don't think we're getting that back at any point.
Be positive by Tuesday, mate.
No, think of how good it will be to go up on a minus goal difference. That's the winner. There we go. Anything for anybody else as we hit the hour mark? We're not doing the competition. Oh, we've still got room as well, by the way. If you want to come on and win some tickets with Dockfest, we've got a couple of spaces left on the competition, and then we'll start it up when we've got the 8 we need. So come on, play a couple of games. You've got two free tickets to win to see the Charlatans, Ash, and Maximo Park, and many others, and also Lloyd talking about cathedrals.
Worth it 6 alone just for Lloyd talking about cathedrals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just enjoy the last few games. I know, I'm going to be, I don't know about you, I will be gutted if we don't make the playoffs. I've built myself up and I will be devastated, but we've got to put it into perspective. And I hope that everybody, if we don't make it, just goes, actually, this season's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And can we talk about the pitch invader? Yeah.
Was that Sam? Was it Sam?
It did look a bit like Sam. The steward response was brilliant. When I say brilliant, non-existent. Just ran around with his phone. He wasn't even doing anything, was it? He just he ran on the pitch. He had his phone like that. I think he was live calling somebody or something like that. Just casually.
I hope we
walking
get the footage.
Yeah, nobody.
At least run up. At least run up to Holloway, nick his hat, and run off.
I tell you what, if you'd done that, the people of Grimsby would have paid your fine. Would have had a whip round.
Mariner Halley
saying he didn't even run. Marking for the first. The steward's marking. Disgraceful.
It was Svan Thorson's man, apparently, according to Mike.
It was. That's a fact. Doesn't take away from the facts. It wasn't his fault about the performance.
Son of Neil Woods with that pace, says David Riley. But it'll be all right. We'll enjoy it. And Port Vale's good. It's all about getting together with you lot for away days like this, where it could be special. No one's won more games away from home than us, and we'll be there.
Do you know what the stewards reminded me of yesterday with that pitch invader? You remember in Mike Bassett when he goes to try and get the balls off those Brazilian kids? Took it around me like I wasn't even there.
Right, everybody, before we go, I want titles for the podcast. We can't have Hitler's birthday. However much I want to put.
As a rule, less Hitler the better. I think that's
not in a World War II documentary.
Less Hitler the better is a good name for the podcast.
I don't think we can.
If people hadn't realised this in the 1930s, would have been fine. The less Hitler, the better.
Yeah.
For the final time, we cannot have Hitler in the title.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, please come think of it while we're talking. Right, where are we meeting tomorrow, and how much do I owe you, Youngie?
It was 25 for the ticket. Guessing we're meeting at the pub. I think we'll probably be getting there because we're stopping at a farm shop for some breakfast.
A farm shop.
Is
that a dog farm shop?
Very middle. Will Douglas is joining us. Jack Springs joining us. So we're meeting.
Are we doing do we do a pod?
Yeah, I'm going to record. Absolutely. Yeah,
we'll do our party pod. So expect that to come out unless we get hammered.
So so we'll probably get there about 12:30, mate. So we'll arrange it from there.
Alex, when you pay Youngie, are you also going to pay Sam from 6 months ago?
No, absolutely not. Because he rose my taxes so much that he gets that money back anyway.
Youngie, could you just take some footage or recording of Alex paying you to put onto the pod?
Sam's going tomorrow, so if he bothers to have the temerity to come up and say hello,
I will do that.
Chats to me, and then I will give him the money.
I bet you turn up with him and he'll pass you and he'll say hello in passing. Say, I'm just eating me dinner, because we all know Sam's away days, a proper middle class, they evolve around what he's doing for food and where he's going for dinner. So he'll say, I'm just having me dinner and then I'll come and see you. And then you won't see him until 5 minutes to kick off when he's passing past you, said hello. And then he'll tell you afterwards that he came and spoke to you. And he's only said hello and bye to you. That's what he does.
Is that all he does?
That's what he does.
It's a bit rude, really.
I think Sam's going to listen to this on his way to Port Vale tomorrow. So I'll be interested if this gets in his head and he thinks I'll prove them wrong, and I will sit near them and actually contribute to this away podcast.
You guys have met him at away games. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, you're not wrong. Absolutely not.
Too busy having lunch with anti-lunch.
My favourite. Oh no, what was I going to say? I'll tell you what I did find yesterday. Or today when I was walking, we went on our Sunday lunch walk. Sticky weed. Can you remember the old?
Oh.
I haven't seen sticky weed in years. My son walking around with it on his back. He had no idea.
He is sure. Yeah.
Are you going to be rude?
I'm backing out.
Are you going to take the?
I am backing out. I've not gone there. I'm going straight back out of it.
I just don't understand why you need to go there, Mike.
I didn't go there. I was on the way there, but I stopped.
I thought that was really poor. Hang on. I was trying to find the bit of me.
I stopped when you decided to say Charlie had it on his back. I thought, well, there we go. We'll just jump out of this.
Good man. That is very kind of you. I can't get into it now. Anyway.
You jumped out the tackle like Svan Thornton, didn't you,
Yeah,
man?
I did a Yas and Daddy's fan sauce. I thought, whoa, not worth it.
Earthquake. Bit shaky in here.
Yeah. Oh, like that night at Morecambe all over again.
Right, we're done, I think, unless anyone's got anything to add. We'll see you all tomorrow. The only thing is Mark James Tattoo is doing a marathon. Is that right, Mike? Raising money for...
No, his son George is doing a mile next Saturday, I believe. I think I've retweeted it. I'll retweet it again. So yeah, if you've got a few quid and you can support them, that'd be great. We'll retweet it tonight.
Yeah, and he's a wonderful lad, a big,
Brilliant.
Massive, lucky charm for town. Because usually every time, he was there on Friday, so maybe not. But you've probably seen George around doing a marathon. Mike is retweeting it now. I believe he's non-verbal, has non-verbal autism, so he has a few challenges. But the town, the sensory room there does great. But he comes to town games here, there, and everywhere. Absolutely loves it. And he's doing a lot of money doing a lot of things to raise money for charity. So do put some money in if you can.
So he's doing the London Mini Marathon on the 26th of April, and it's in aid of the Grimsby Town Disabled Supporters Association. So I'm just retweeting that now if you want to go and read up about what's going on and how you can support George, you can see that on mine or the DN35 Twitter feed.
There, and we'll put it on we'll put it on the Twitter feed, and I'll see if I can find the video of me dropping knives in the middle of Covent Garden for everybody's entertainment. There we go. That's it. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the moan, but big away day tomorrow. Whatever happens, win or lose, we're on the booze. Unless it's me, I'm driving, so I'm allowed one. Or if anyone can drive the car back from Stoke, it would be really appreciated. That would be great. Mike, anything from you before we go?
No.
Okay, cool, great.
Oh, so much ice cream going that fast, would he? Don't bother me.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more in my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good goal. You can't make it straight like that.